Hey, Pat here. I'm just going to make a quick video to show you guys how to convert your R6s to the current gen. I got my '08 R6 behind me. I have brand new current gen R6 bodywork 17 to 26, and I'll show you a couple things that you're going to want to do. I also have a plug and play kit that I'm going to go ahead and show you how that works. Makes it easy, and we'll get right to it. All right, here's the light kit we have, or the electronics kit or whatever, wiring kit we have. We have the tail light plug-in kit. This one is the only one that needs any kind of soldering. You just got to color match the green wire and the black wire with the white plug on your factory harness. Cut those, splice those in with these, and then the red and white wire on the green plug. They match with these, red and black wire. They match with these red and black wires here, and you just cut those, solder those, and you are ready to go. This is the headlight plugs right here. This is for the DRL harness. This is the adapter harness and the tail light harness, and that is all you need electronically. Alright, here's the bike '08 R6. It's got the subframe already on it. The battery tray is out. I will show you where I trim it in order to fit the harness. A couple things real quick while I'm here. The fairing stay, it's the 17 fairing stay and intake ducts. You do need to drill holes for the gauges here, here, and on the bottom there. You're just going to want it to get as high as possible here to have the gauges as high as possible there. You're going to have to trim the tab that's on the factory stay so that the wiring harness can fit onto the plug there. And there's one thing that I would do if I could, it takes longer, is put some brackets in to raise this about 1/2 inch to fit the windshield a little better. But this works just fine. And then a couple things that you're going to want also is the left and right frame brackets, which is going to be this one here to hold the your fairing here. You're going to want this one as well. It's the right side frame bracket that holds the harness and all that type of stuff. You'll want to swap that so you can have this piece for the fairing and this piece for the intake fairing, basically. And then the last one you're going to want is going to be this lower right frame fairing bracket. Everything else fits the same, as in this one down there, and everything else just bolts up nicely. Alright, I'm going to do the headlights now. I got this harness for the headlights. It's got the 2 plugs here, 1 plug here. You do have to have the headlight module down here. You must have that so you don't blow your lights out. Trying to get this thing to stay, and basically plug this in, and then left goes left, right goes right to the blue plugs right here on your stock '08 to '16 harness. These plug into your stock headlights here. So blue to blue. I'll try to get this on cam. And blue to blue. Simple as that. So she's plugged in there with a little strap, and headlights are plugged in. Alright, we'll do the DRL next, which is going to be the longer harness. Alright, now we're going to do the DRLs. This is the 4-foot harness for the DRLs. I'll show you where I've run mine. I've already done it once. But I have it going with the factory harness right on underneath it. Sneak the black plug right on through to the back. Harness runs right through there into the subframe. That plug, don't worry about that. It's white because it was one of the first ones I did. And then I run that with the harness, and I get that all nice. I'll get that zip tied nice, snug and tidy. And then it runs with the headlight harness around the fork to the inside, and then plugs into the factory DRL plug, which comes with the DRL lights. I'm gonna show you where that plugs in just a minute. Alright, headlight harness is in, DRL harness is in there. I'm gonna move this and show where I trimmed the battery tray. This is the 17 battery tray, and I just go right along this edge. Just make that a little bit lower. Any little tabs that are coming up, just make that nice and smooth across along there. And then over here, make that nice and smooth, and then trim most of this, but just leave a little sliver of a tab right there so that the ECU doesn't slide around. Next thing you'll want to do is you want to put your drill 2 holes to put the tip over sensor there. You have to otherwise extend the wires to put it where it comes normally there in the 2017s, and the harness is shorter for the OH16. So you want to do that, and then the last thing is there's a little, I don't know, tab or whatever there. Just go ahead and trim that out, make that flush on the top and bottom. That way the harness, that whole big block side, can fit nice and easy. So I'll bolt it back in, and then I'll just show how I routed all the plugs and all that fun stuff. All right, back to the subframe. Battery tray is in. Harness is routed like this, just on the left-hand side. I had that part trimmed out so this fits lower and flush. Starter relay right here. I have the wires going to the right of it, and then that little fuse kind of hidden underneath there. The main part of those wires are underneath part of it, and the stickers on the upside for the ECU. Have the tip over sensor plugged in now, and then the signal relay, fuel pump relay, little fuses, and then the stock tail light plug. So we will use the adapter harness and plug this in. And then we'll run that a little bit just along there. It's kind of going to run like that. Then grab taillight harness. So 17 tail light going into this OH16 plug. I'll run that right along the edge of that. And then that plugs in there. And of course the DRL plugs in right here. And then you'll just kind of snug everything in. You'll bolt that on as normal. And then with any luck, we got the tail light working. Let's see. And won't have the headlights working yet because the bike is not running as normal, but the DRLs are working. All plug and play. Fuel pump is also done. The kits are over there. They're color matching, so you'll cut the white plug and green plug. You'll do on the green plug, you'll do the red wire to the red, black to black, white plug, same thing, green wire to green, black to black. Simple as that. And then I'll get the bike all buttoned up and show you it with the headlights working and all that. All right, it's getting late, but I'll get it partially dressed up so you can at least see it running and lights working and all that fun stuff. So I'm not going to put every bolt in and all that fun stuff, but at least get it started. Back off. Give it a little prime. And then let's see if all the lights work. Let's do that actually. All right, she's back together real quick. I'll get it fired up and look at the lights. Everything's working. Headlights, DRLs. Bike looks good. Barely buttoned up, but 2024, brand new. For sale, by the way. That's it. Full conversion. DRLs, headlights, taillights, fuel pump, gas tank, whole 9 yards.